Okay, guys, part 2 of the probability test review. Let's continue where we picked off, number 13, where we left off. So it says your mom is in a hurry and says you can choose between McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, or Dairy Queen for dinner. She says you can have either a burger or a chicken for the main course, and then you can have either a shake, soda, or water. How many options do you have? Okay, so how many different restaurants can we go to? McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Dairy Queen. I've got 4 different restaurants. I can have a burger or a chicken. All right, so burger or chicken, I can have 2 different entrees, and then I can either have shake, soda, or water. I have 3 different drinks or beverages. So to find the total options, I just multiply these 3 together. I've got 4 restaurants times 2 main courses times 3 drinks. 4 times 2 is 8 times 3 is 24 options. Okay, all right. Hint, hint, guys. Hint, hint. What if we had this same problem and they told us that we had, say, 48 options, and let's say that they didn't tell us how many different drinks we have? Okay, how would I figure out how many different drinks I have? I would still do the 4 restaurants times the 2 main courses times the number of drinks. I don't know what the number of drinks are, so we'll say X, and then that would be equal to 48. Okay, and then you would go on to solve for X. So it would be 8X equals 48 divided by 8, and X is going to be equal to 6. So you'd have 6 different drinks. Okay, that's what you're going to have to do on the test. You're going to have to work backwards with an X. Okay. All right, so number 14, you toss a number cube and flip a coin at the same time. What is the probability you roll a number less than 3 and the coin lands on heads? Okay, what's the probability you roll a number less than 3 and the coin lands on heads? Okay, are these independent or are these dependent? Okay, I am rolling a die. Get my die again. Okay, so I'm rolling a number cube and I'm flipping a coin. Okay, do these 2 things have anything to do with each other? Rolling a die and flipping a coin. No, no matter what I get on the die, that will not affect whether or not I get heads or tails. Okay, so these are independent. All right, so I'm in independent land. All right, so what is the probability that I roll a number less than 3? Okay, so on the number cube, less than 3, that's going to be 1 and 2. All right, so what are the chances that I roll that? Okay, so I'd say probability of a number less than 3 is going to be equal to 2 out of 6. That's equal 1 out of 3. Okay, and then the probability of the coin landing on heads, of course, is 1/2. And what do I do with those 2 probabilities? Since they're independent, I'm going to multiply them together. Okay, there's the word and, so I'll multiply. 1/3 times 1/2, that gives me 1/6. 1/6 chance that both of those things are going to happen at the same time. Number 15, here's the probability of A, probability of B, probability of C. If the probability of A and B is 0.2, are they independent? So here's where you got to compare. I got to multiply the probability of A times the probability of B, and C, does that equal the probability of both? Does 0.4 times 0.35, does that equal 0.12? Yes or no? All right, so let's type it in our calculator. 0.4 times 0.35, that equals 0.14. So 0.12 does not equal 0.14. So I would say no, they are not independent. They are actually dependent. All right, if the probability of A and C is 0.2, are they independent or dependent? Okay, so now I'm going to multiply the probability of A again times the probability of C. Let me get my camera back in focus here. Come on. There we go. All right, so I'm going to multiply A times C. So that's going to be 0.4 times the probability of C, 0.55. Does that equal the probability of both? 0.22. 0.4 times 0.55, that does equal 0.22. So yes, that checks out. So I would say yes, they are independent. Okay. All right, last one here, guys. All right, so we got the Venn diagram. It shows the languages spoken by a college class, broken down by college class. Answer the questions. How many That's a physical hard number. How many people are in this class? I'm simply going to just add up all these numbers. Okay, so if you add up all those numbers, that comes out to be 105 people. So when we're doing all these other probabilities, it's basically going to be out of 105 people for most of these. How many people speak English only? Okay, that would be like your, that would be like just English only is going to be basically, that's basically going to be your not Spanish and your not Chinese. Okay, but if you don't want to worry about the notation here, how many people speak English only, that's going to be these people right here. Only 35 speak English only. Okay, that's pretty easy. How many people? How many Spanish-speaking people are in this class? Okay, so basically they're asking how many Spanish people do we have? And that's going to be the sum of all the Spanish people. Okay, so that's going to be 7 plus 3, that's 10, plus 8, that's 18, 18 plus 33, that comes out to be 51. Okay, and again, tomorrow on the test, I would encourage you guys to bring different colored pencils, different colors for the different questions. If chosen at random, what is the probability? Now, this is not how many anymore. It's a fraction, percentage, decimal. What's the probability of choosing someone who speaks all 3 languages? I guess I could do this in a different color. Okay, how many people speak all 3? That's the overlap of all 3 circles. That's going to be the green box. So we've got 8 people, but it doesn't say how many. It says probability. So this is 8 people out of the total of 105 people. Okay, so that's 8 over 105. That does not simplify. All right, so now, guys, on this, the notation stuff here, these are more complicated than what you're going to see on the test. I'm giving you guys a hint because you're coming to the video and you're showing some effort here, so I don't mind giving you guys little hints and tips. On the test tomorrow, you're going to have to do one of each of the 3 different types of notations that we talked about. The union, the intersection, and the complement. Okay, so what you're going to see tomorrow on the test is you're going to see something like this. Probability of A union B, that's your union. Probability of A upside down UB, that's your intersection, your overlap, and then the probability of a tick, something like that. Okay, so some of these other ones are a little bit more complicated, but it's still good to go through this because this is logic. When you see, let's go back to purple, when you see the right side up U, that means union. Okay, union, if you can't remember, go back and look at your notes. Union means everything. Give it all to me. Give me everything in S, give me everything in C, give me the overlap, give it all to me. Okay, I'll do this in orange. So that means everything in S, 7, 3, 8, 33. Everything in S and everything in C, 2, 13. Okay, S including the overlap. Okay, everything in S and everything in C. All right, so if I add all those up, 7 plus 3 plus 2 plus 13 plus 8 plus 33, that comes out to be 66 over the total, 105. That actually does reduce to 22 out of 35 if you divide the top and bottom by 3. Okay, this one here, F, that looks complicated. It's really not that bad. This is the intersection. That's the overlap of not S, not E, and not C. Okay, so what is, okay, so that means that the intersection of everything that is not in S, everything that is not in E, and everything that's not in C. So basically we're asking what number is in common that doesn't have anything to do with all 3 of these. Okay, and that's simply going to be this guy right here. Okay, I'm not going to go through and X out all the different not S's, but you just got to know that the intersection of not S, not E, and not C are the 4 guys that aren't in any of those. Okay, so this is the overlap. 4 is not in S, 4 is not in E, and 4 is not in C. So 4 is the overlap of all these guys that aren't in S, E, and C. Okay, you're not going to have to do that on the test tomorrow. That's a little bit more complicated than what you'll see. So this will just be 4 out of 105. Okay, bell just rung. I'm going to try to get through these last 2 here real quick. All right, G, this is what you'll have to do this tomorrow. Okay, the overlap, the upside down U means intersection or the overlap. Come on, camera, you can do it. There we go. The overlap of C and E. I'll do this in red. Okay, this is your overlap, your intersection. I'm going to write overlap. And see all these p's, guys? All these p's mean probability. That means all these are fractions, percents, decimals. The overlap of C and E is literally going to be this overlap right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm circling the overlap. That's going to be the 8 and the 13. You add those together, that comes out to be 21 out of 105. Okay, and that reduces to 1 out of 5. Okay, last one here. Union, the union of not S and E. Okay, so that means I'll do this in green. That means give me everything in E. Okay, so 33, 8, 13, 35, all those are in E. So I've got everything in E. And then also give me everything that's not in S. Okay, so everything else that's not in S, the 2 is not in S, and the 4 is not in S. Okay, so the union means give it all to me. Okay, so basically it means give me every number except for the 7 and the 3. So if you add up all these numbers in green, add them together, you should come out to be 95 minus 105. Basically it's just the 105 minus these 10 people. Okay, so that's 95 over 105. That reduces to 19 out of 21. Okay, but this, guys, is what you need to focus on. This is what you'll see on the test. Regular U, that means give me everything. The upside down U, that's the overlap. And the tick means scratch out the ones that are in that. So that means everything not A. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed these 2 videos. I wish you the best of luck. Make sure you study your graphic organizer. Carry the posted solutions around with you in your book bag. Study them, sleep on them, look at them during lunch, whatever you got to do. I wish you guys the best of luck, and we'll see you on the next video.